Good morning, dear students, and welcome to today's session. In this session, we are going to continue with our discussion of The Merchant of Venice, Act 3, Scene 4. And in the last class, we have done till that particular part where Portia discloses to Nerissa that their husbands shall see them. And when Portia tells Nerissa this, then Nerissa gets excited and she inquires of Portia that shall they really see us? So Portia affirms Nerissa that yes, they would see them, but they will see them in such a habit that they shall think we are accomplished with that we lack. So when their husbands see them, they will be so dressed at that particular moment that their husbands would think them to be altogether different persons. Why? Because they will be disguised like young men. And they will also get the impression that they possess certain things which they actually lack. So they will be equipped with all the qualities of men which they actually do not possess. So they are essentially women and they have women like qualities. They do not possess the qualities of men. But at that particular moment, they will not only be disguised like men, but they will also possess those qualities of men, and that would make their husbands think that they are altogether different persons, and therefore they are sure to fail to identify them when they see them in their disguise. And Portia also tells Nerissa that she is ready to bet with Nerissa any amount that when both of them are dressed like men, Portia would prove herself to be more dashing and smarter than compared to Nerissa. And what is interesting to note here is that though a woman may disguise herself like a man, but she can bring change in her physical appearance. Now, bringing change in her physical appearance alone may not be sufficient to conceal or hide her true identity, because though they might be dressed like men, but they will essentially possess those feminine qualities. But here Portia is witty enough, and she says that she is not only going to bring a change about in her physical appearance, but she is also going to bring a change in her qualities, in her disposition. So she says that she will carry a dagger on her thigh in order to create an impression that she is bold, she is courageous, and that would give her a brave appearance like that of men. She further says, Nerissa, that she will speak in such a voice as if her voice were changing from a boy's voice to a man's voice, so that nobody is able to suspect her. She will speak in a shrill voice that suits a boy who is growing to manhood. And while walking, she will bring changes in her steps also. She says that she would take a long man-like stride instead of taking two short steps like that of a woman. And she would tell fanciful lies that many honorable ladies has expressed their love towards him, and when he refused to accept their love, they were heartbroken and they committed suicide. And then she would repent that she could not help, she could not prevent the death of these women. She says that she would also express her regret over their deaths and would express her wish that in spite of everything, she should not have allowed those honorable ladies to die. Not only this, she would tell many more such petty lies that will make others believe that she has completed her schooling just more than a year ago. So men listening to Portia would think that she is a youngster who has just come out of the school after completing her studies. And she says that her mind will be full of 1,000 boys' pranks, which boastful young fellows practice, and which she too will practice while she is attired in the dress of a man. However, she tells Nerissa that she would disclose to Nerissa all her plans once they are in the carriage which would carry them to the place where the ships sail to Venice. So there was already a coach, a carriage waiting at the door of Portia's palace, and she tells Nerissa that once she gets into the carriage, then she would disclose Nerissa everything about her plan. And therefore she tells Nerissa to haste away because they have to travel a long distance that particular day itself. So therefore we see that this particular scene gradually prepares us for the trial scene. And Portia herself takes the decision that she would be going to Venice in order to save the life of Antonio, and she is going to disguise herself as a doctor of law. So Portia is delighted at the prospect of disguising herself as a boy, and this delight of Portia is contrasted sharply with Jessica's embarrassment in disguising herself as a page boy. So with good wit, Portia imitates a young man's bragging and boasting and waits anxiously to fool her husband with her disguise. So the scene brings forth some new traits or characteristics in the personality of Portia. So she is a character who is not only beautiful, but she is also extremely intelligent and witty, and she has presence of mind. She is capable of forming elaborate plans and has the courage to execute them. So that is the reason why she made that plan of disguising herself, and not only that, she also executes that plan now. And another important aspect of this particular scene is that this scene fills up the time gap before the beginning of the trial scene, and it also discloses to the readers about Portia's plan to save the life of Antonio. So this brings us to the end of Act 3 Scene 4. So thank you, and I will be sending you a note also on this last speech of Portia. Thank you and stay blessed.